What's going on, everyone? So, going through the key rotation players for this Lakers team heading into the playoffs, right? Against the Minnesota Timberwolves, start there, but just in general for the playoffs. And I want to talk about Jarred Vanderbilt. I've talked a lot about Jarred Vanderbilt recently because there's been a lot of word about it. Because, look, he's playing one of his old teams, right? Him and Anthony Edwards had that little, a little back and forth, right? There's some extra motivation, sprinkle a little bit revenge factor, right? And Jarred Vanderbilt and the way that he hustles and impacts a game, right? He can be the difference maker and in a major way. He is one of, if not the best perimeter on-ball defenders in the entire NBA. And he's also a guy that can rebound, do the dirty work, hustle plays, dive for loose balls, create turnovers, right? Give you some level of offense. Just do everything out there. Be that jack of all trades, Swiss Army knife type guy. He may arguably be the biggest X factor for the Lakers. Outside of, in my opinion, I think it's Dorian Finney-Smith. Outside of LeBron, Luka, and Austin Reeves, of course. Those are your three guys. Dorian Finney-Smith, I would probably put up there just because of all the things he does. But Jarred Vanderbilt is right there. And if you wanted to argue, no, it's more Jarred Vanderbilt, I wouldn't even argue with you. Dorian Finney-Smith just gives you more on the offensive side, though, and I think we'll just play more minutes. I think Jarred Vanderbilt, more likely than not, this whole playoffs is going to be an assignment guy, which I talked about the moment he returned from injury, right? As soon as he came back from injury, I was like, chances are he's going to be an assignment guy. He's going to come in, he's going to play 12 to 16 minutes a night, he's going to play 3 to 4 minutes per quarter, and it's like, hey, see Anthony Edwards right there? Yeah, your only job, just focus, be laser focused, and just slow him down. That's all you got to do. And he's just fresh legs coming in, just getting after it, hounding Ant-Man, and then we play the war and hounding Steph, and then you play, whatever, okay, hounding SGA, right? Like, you need a guy like Jarred Vanderbilt on the defensive side, doing the dirty work, doing the hustle plays, making the winning plays, right? But Jarred Vanderbilt, I know a lot of people offensively, just he doesn't give you much, which he does. But he does, just not in the traditional sense, right? Like, he's a guy that absolutely impacts the offensive side of the basketball, just not in, again, the traditional sense. And what I mean by that is, knocking down threes and, just scoring the ball him individually, right? The way he impacts the offensive side of things is through creating extra opportunities for the Lakers, right? Offensive rebounds, creating turnovers, live ball turnovers, defensive rebounds, right? A defensive sequence isn't over till you secure that basketball and you're heading towards your basket. All of those things generate more offense. It gives the Lakers more offensive opportunities, more offensive possessions, which can lead to just higher point totals, all of that. Jarred Vanderbilt is very important and impactful in that way. And then when he does knock down the occasional three, or is a backdoor guy, or you put him in the pick and roll pick and roll action, right? Like him as the dunker spot, whatever, right? Him being in all these little key areas on the offensive side of things just adds to what you want overall for Jarred Vanderbilt and his impact for this team. So you get the untraditional offensive sense, but you also get the traditional offensive sense in other key ways outside of shooting the three ball, right? The playoffs in particular, so important. The little sequences and moments that go unnoticed. A lot of what Jarred Vanderbilt does is not going to show up in the box score, right? Like him keeping balls alive, right? Like, you're not thinking about just like the little fingernail tap that led to, the ball kind of bouncing and that led to a 50-50 ball and Austin Reeves came away with it, right? Like, you're not thinking like Jarred Vanderbilt's the one that created that moment by just applying the pressure and getting up there and getting that fingertip on it, which, allowed the ball to kick out, which allowed Austin Reeves to grab the basketball, square up, knock down the three ball, and change everything, right? Like, again, those little sequences are important. You're not thinking about, the deflection, and now there's only 2.3 on the shot clock, and now they have to take a rush shot or whatever rather than the setup action, or, they were trying to get set up in an action and you just kind of blew up the action, right? Like, Jarred Vanderbilt is so good, gifted, and skilled on all those things. He's the guy that definitely, again, outside of Dorian Finney-Smith, might be the best at just like those winning plays. And people, one of the big things I see regularly with him is like, oh, well, you got played off the court against Denver. You got played off the court against Denver. It's a very different situation. One, we're not as reliant on Jarred Vanderbilt. It's very different when you need a guy to play 30 minutes a game compared to like 13 minutes a game. Very different, right? Jarred Vanderbilt in that 2023 run, we were incredibly reliant on him. We needed him to play and be the defender we were. We didn't have the number of bodies that we could throw at the guys. Right now we have Dorian Finney-Smith and Jordan Goodwin and Gabe Vincent, and LeBron James has been playing really good defense, and Austin Reeves can play in pinches and stuff. Like, you have the bodies now that you just didn't have in that last go around, that last stint with him. Well, now you do. So now you're not as worried about him getting played off the court or whatever. And you have just better offensive engines and stuff like that. You have Luke and all that stuff. So now you can get away with it, right? Where, before we didn't have the personnel to kind of mask that. Like, if D'Angelo Russell is hitting, threes like he was in the regular season, maybe Jarred Vanderbilt doesn't get played off the court because now he's not as big of an offensive liability, right? Maybe you are able to make it work and figure some stuff out with him, right? Like, it's just, things are very different. If guys are hitting shots and the offense is clicking and flowing and we're doing all the things that we're supposed to be doing, all of a sudden, Jarred Vanderbilt, the liability that is Jarred Vanderbilt, is very different. We're not as reliant on him. We don't need him. And he's just going to be a specialist guy. He's going to be an assignment specialist guy. Hey, Anthony Edwards, you see him? I need you to slow him down. Do not let him get 40. And if he does, make sure it's on 40 shots, right? Like, and it's just, again, big difference between a guy giving you 30 on 25 attempts and a guy giving you 30 on 12 attempts. Very big differences. And very much the differences between you winning or losing a game or a series or whatever, right? Jarred Vanderbilt is that guy that makes the winning plays that can impact and change the entire outcome and course of a basketball game. Jarred Vanderbilt is incredibly crucial for this team. But anyway, as always, this is a discussion. Pass question to you. Let me know your thoughts and opinions down in the comments below. What do you think? Feel your thoughts. Agree with me, disagree with me, kind of mixed in the middle. However you feel, whatever your thoughts are, I'd love to hear it either way. So let me know down in the comments below. That being said, if you haven't liked this video, hit that like button. Helps me a lot. So we enjoy these types of videos, and I truly appreciate it. Not subscribe to the channel, hit that subscribe button. Turn on the bell notifications. Appreciate y'all. See you in the next one.